Let's deeply explore how social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Tinder, which today serve as major distractions with selfies, likes, and superficial connections, are going to collapse as society faces extreme crises. This will align with Isaiah 4:1, showing how, in the end, these distractions will be stripped away and people, especially women, will look for protection, leadership, and stability in a world that is falling apart. Isaiah 4:1, the collapse of modern distractions. Isaiah 4:1, KJV. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. This prophecy speaks about a time when the distractions and comforts of life will be removed and survival will become the focus. Let's break it down for today's age. The role of social media and modern society. In today's world. 1. Social media as a distraction. Apps like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook are filled with selfies, entertainment, and materialism, keeping people focused on vanity and fleeting pleasures. Women in particular are pressured to chase attention, validation, and status through their appearance, followers, and likes. Men are distracted by chasing this illusion of perfection. 2. Dating apps and superficial connections. Platforms like Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge encourage casual relationships, making it easy to swipe and move on without building lasting connections. These apps have created a hookup culture, reducing relationships to surface-level attraction and short-term pleasure. 3. False security in technology. People today rely heavily on technology, believing that apps, money, and entertainment will always be there to distract them or meet their needs. Social media has replaced spiritual connection with superficial relationships, and people are becoming increasingly isolated despite being connected. In the collapse of these platforms. However, the prophecy in Isaiah 4:1 speaks of a time when all of this will come to an end. Let's connect this to the collapse of modern distractions. 1. Economic and societal collapse. The infrastructure that supports platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Tinder relies on global stability. But when the economy collapses, wars break out, or major disasters occur, these platforms will cease to function. People will no longer have time for selfies, filters, or chasing likes because survival will become the priority. 2. Food shortages and famine. In a time of food shortages and economic instability, people won't care about selfies or social media trends. Women who once relied on their looks or social status to gain attention will realize they need something deeper, protection and leadership from a man who can provide spiritual and physical security. 3. Spiritual awakening. As these distractions disappear, people will be forced to confront their spiritual emptiness. The facade of social media and dating apps will crumble, and people will realize how fragile and meaningless those pursuits were in the face of real hardship. Women, in particular, will seek out righteous men who can provide not just physical security, but also spiritual guidance. Isaiah 4:1, in a world without distractions. When the distractions of social media, dating apps, and superficial connections are stripped away, the reality of Isaiah 4:1 will manifest fully. In that day. This refers to a time of great crisis, economic collapse, wars, famine, and societal breakdown. Social media and apps will no longer function, and people will be forced to face the harsh realities of life. Without distractions, people will seek real, tangible solutions, not the illusions offered by technology. 7 women shall take hold of one man. With the collapse of society, many men will die in wars or disasters, Isaiah 3:25-26. This will leave a huge imbalance between men and women, with far more women than men. Women will no longer chase superficial connections or material wealth. Instead, they will seek righteous men who can offer protection, guidance, and stability. We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Women will no longer expect men to provide material things like food or clothing because survival will be the priority. They'll take responsibility for their own basic needs, but they'll desperately seek a man's name, marriage or spiritual covering to remove their reproach. The reproach could be societal shame, fear of being alone in a dangerous world, or the spiritual emptiness they feel after relying on social media and shallow relationships for so long. Let us be called by thy name. This reflects the desperation of women to be aligned with a man of God during this time. The superficial attractions of social media will fade, and people will return to the basics: survival, protection, and spiritual connection. How this applies to today's world. Here's how this will play out in the 21st century. The collapse of social media and technology. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Tinder will no longer function during times of economic or societal collapse. The internet itself may become unreliable. People will realize that selfies, likes, and followers have no real value in the face of hunger, danger, and death. Desperation for leadership. As women outnumber men due to war, violence, and other factors, they will look for men who can provide leadership and protection. This will result in a return to polygyny, one man with multiple women, as described in Isaiah 4:1. A shift from vanity to survival. Women who once focused on social media, clout, or physical beauty will shift their focus to finding a man who can offer stability, both physically and spiritually. Survival will take precedence over vanity, and people will see the emptiness of modern distractions. Spiritual revival. This period of hardship will force people to turn back to God. The distractions of the modern age will be gone, and people will seek spiritual guidance and leadership from righteous men. Conclusion. Isaiah 4:1 paints a picture of a future where the distractions of modern life, social media, selfies, and casual dating are stripped away. As platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Tinder collapse during times of crisis, people will be forced to confront their spiritual emptiness and seek meaningful connections. In this new reality, women will outnumber men due to wars and societal breakdown, leading to polygyny as a practical and spiritual solution. Women will no longer rely on superficial distractions, but will seek righteous men who can provide leadership, protection, and spiritual guidance. The collapse of modern distractions will reveal the emptiness of vanity and materialism, forcing people to turn back to God and His ways. This prophecy serves as a warning to prepare for the future by focusing on what truly matters: spiritual readiness, righteous living, and alignment with God's purpose. The world of selfies, likes, and swipes will fade, and people will be left seeking something real: